Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're having a wonderful crafty day. We are gonna just do one card today because it's gonna be pretty detailed. I want to do an embossing folder, stamping with some watercolor, and then of course layering our layers. So for this one, if you want to follow along, we're gonna do a red card base, and in order to do a writing area, we're also going to need a chunk of white, and this is just some leftover white from making another card. So we're going to slide that aside, and for this I was thinking a 5x7, so that needs to be a 10x7 sheet of paper. Okay, because we have to double one side and we can't double the 7, right? Because we don't have a 14-inch sheet of paper. So here's our 7. Is that what I want to do? Yeah, we're going to take this 12x12 down to 7x12, and then we're going to rotate once and cut it at the 10 mark. That way there we can fold it at the 5 mark and have a 5x7. So there's that. Now I could get my other scoring machine, but I'm just going to be kind of lazy and use the middle track here. I have this at 5. And then we're just going to set the stylus bone folder right in the track and gently pull. Then we flip and fold just like we normally would. Okay. And I'm going to pinch it together right there. Use the little folder. And voila, we have a 5x7. Yeah. Now on the inside, we want our little thing in there. So I think I'm going to do a 1/2 inch, which would give us a 1/4 inch. So 5x7 minus a 1/2 inch on 2 sides. So the 7 would be 6.5. 6.5. And the 5 would be 4.5. And then that would be in there for our center. Okay. And these are good sized chunks. Don't throw them away. You can easily do sentiments on these. Okay. I just have a bin under my desk for them. Oops, I should have probably grabbed a new roll of tape. I've been tape happy for days. Okay. Now this is just the writing page, so it doesn't need a lot of stick down because it's going to be nice and flat in there. So I'm only going to do a top and a bottom for this. Okay. We're going to eyeball center. Looks good. There's our center. And we have a nice, beautiful red. All right. Now for the, come here. I grabbed a patterned paper that is in shades of gray because it's going to look great with my black embossing and whatnot. So this one, I want less of a border. So before we took off a 1/2 inch on each side, this time we're going to take less. We're going to take off a 1/4 inch. Okay. And it doesn't really matter how this goes on here, but I do want to make sure that this is my long side because it does kind of matter. So follow your paper. So the first side is going to be the longest side. And before it was 7, so we're going to take off a quarter. So that'll be 6/75. Okay, and then our 5, and we just scooch it down and take off a quarter. That would be 4/75. And I think I'm cutting that the wrong way after I just said. Yes, I am. Okay, so I still have plenty of paper to play with. I need to be sure this side is my 4/75. Okay, let's try this again. 4/75. Good thing I caught it in time. And then 6/75. And if it's hard to remember, all I do is I put it up to the original size. So there it is at 7. And then I just scooch it back. And there I took off the 1/4 inch. Scooch it back a little more, there's the 1/2 inch. So that's a good way. If you're not sure about the math, just kind of slide it to the marks. And each of these, there's 3 marks between the 2 inch marks. So there's a 6-inch mark and a 7. And then there's 3 tall lines in between. The center of the 3 is your 1/2. And then each one of those is a 1/4. So we have a 1/4 plus a 1/4 is a 1/2, plus a 1/4 is 75ths, plus another 1/4 is your 4 quarters for the 7, or 1 inch, sorry. Math on the rulers is very hard for me. And then it gets teenier with the 16ths and the whatnots in there. But yeah, you just set it up there. So it's going to be a 5x7 card. So there's the 5. And I'm just taking off a 1/4 inch. So I'm just going to pull it back to the first big mark. And no, I'm not, because this needs to be the 7. 7. There we go. Now I can visually see that this is a lot bigger. I can't believe I was going to chop it off wrong again. So 6/75. My paper's a little crooked. Something's not laying flat there. There we go. All right. So now when we place this on here, we're going to have a smaller trimming around, whereas the white has much more trimming. Okay, so that's that plate placement. And these, again, I'm just going to throw them in my drawer with my black colored scraps because it's going to look great. I'm going to set that aside for a moment while we get this tape down. Now this piece I'm going to tape down on all 4 sides and a little bit in the middle because it's going to be holding other paper, and we don't want it to slip. And even though I'm doing all sides in the center, it's not the full length. It's just a little bit down each side. The tape is super sticky. Even this dollar store stuff is super sticky. Okay, so we're gonna pop this off, maybe. Come here. If you have troubles placing, what you can do is leave one section not peeled, okay? So I can start at the bottom, move it around, wiggle it whichever way I want. Because once you have 3 points, that upper point's going to line up just fine. So if I start down here, we know that's not going to work. So we just kind of give it even there, and even there. And then we can lay it down, and then those stick. And then we can gently pull this back and peel our other little piece. Ta-da! So this is looking fabulous. Now, before the butterfly, I'm gonna do a little embossing plate here that's gonna sit on top of this. And I want to do it with some color, because I don't want just a plain black embossed piece of paper. So what I've decided is I want to use a metallic paint. This particular color is this. It is just a lush cream paste from Joann's. It's the Folk Art. You can probably get this on Amazon. It's their design cream. It's designed for stencils. And then I have a Deco Arts Metallics. They're not cheap, but they will last forever. And that's what's so fabulous. And if you go to Joann's, I don't know if they have these anymore, but I got mine on a 60% off coupon. So if you have those, look for those. Use your coupons, get them on sale. And then I only collected the metallics because you can also get a cheaper version. Deco Art, Folk Art, a lot of brands have these little bottles you can get anywhere. Just look for a metallic, so you don't even have to buy a lot. You can just buy a little. And these range from anywhere from 50 cents on up to $2. Use your coupons. Joann's, Hobby Lobby's, Michael's. See if you can find them on clearance and stuff to build up your little stash. Okay, so when we paint your embossing folder, there's basically 3 ways you can do it. One is you can paint one side of your folder. Okay, that's going to give you one option. Number 2 is paint the other side of your folder, which is going to give you a whole different look. Okay, and you can make yourself a little note. So this says paint on the label side. So here's the label. So when I opened it, I put the paint here. There's the label side. And it put the paint on the flowers, and we have the debossed. That's when the image is pushed in. So it's debossed. So if we flipped it over, that's the embossed, the raised areas. So it's just the reverse image. This one here says paint on the non-labeled side. So when I open it up, I paint the side that doesn't have the label. Now when you set your paper in there and send it through, it's going to come out with the paint on the debossed, and the embossed is not going to have your paint on it. So you've got 2 options off of one folder. Pretty cool. Here's your third option. Say you don't want to mucky up your template, and mind you, paint, you can take this to the kitchen sink, a little bit of warm soap and water. That's if you let it set. I just squirt some water and clean it right off. It's super easy. But say you want something more grungy and not so, these are a little bit more perfect. Okay, this is just taking your roller, your little brayer. You get the color on there, and you can see here I started off. You just start off and roll right across the top. That's it. No pushing, just let it roll. And so you get this really rich, rustic look to it, whereas this is more detailed and pinpointed into the areas that it needs to go. Okay, so you just choose which style you like, and I think I'm gonna go with this style. So what I'm gonna do, pardon me, is I'm gonna grab a sheet of black, and it can be scratch, you know, something, a little scrap that you have left. I actually don't have any scraps of black. Dance for me, dance for me, dance for me, oh. I forgot the do not disturb. I keep doing that. All right. So this sheet of black, I'm just going to cut it in half. Okay. Now the reason I like mine a little bit bigger than the folder is because it gets smooshed and it wrinkles and it pulls and pushes because you're putting so much pressure on your folder. It is actually changing the size of your paper a little bit. So these were both the same size, but it's hanging over a little bit more. So you definitely want a little wiggle room. And then this way here, you can trim it right down the way you need. Okay, so I'm just going to set this in here. I'm going to do my Gemini Junior sandwich. And if you're not sure, it's the cutting plate, the magnetic shim, and then your embossing folder with paper, and your little thin milky shim. That's a sandwich. And then right in the machine. Okay, so I originally did this in that color, but I saw my rose gold the rose gold and thought that would be even prettier. And I am gonna do that side of it. Again, if you switch sides, it's gonna look different. Okay. So we get our little palette knife. I forgot to clean the edges, apparently. And it hasn't been used for a while, and you can kind of tell it does this weird separation, but all you got to do is mix her up. It's so pretty. I wouldn't really scrape the edges because it's dried up there a little bit. If you have that problem, all you got to do is grab a paper towel. Okay. Should have did that first, but that's okay. You just grab a little paper towel and you just pick up all of that crunchy stuff. Fold it over. There we go. Just pick out your little crunchies. Like I said, it's been sitting here a while. I do like using these though, because a little bit goes a long ways. So I don't mind spending the money on them. You know, because these here, these tall ones, they're $10 a piece, I think. But with your 50 and 60% off, it's a steal. There we go. All nice and clean. But I'm not. I'm all dirty. All right. Okay. So all you got to do is, it's not, you don't need a lot. Okay. So what I do is, after it's all nice and mixed, you just get a little bit on your palette knife and you dab 4 areas of your roller. Okay. Just dab them. And then on your work surface, if your brayer isn't rolling, just do lighter movements, okay? And you just get that wheel a moving, okay? And then you can hear it grabbing. Okay, so here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna start off the bottom of your page and just roll it across. Oh, that's so pretty. And don't push. We don't want it in the areas. We just want it on whatever's sticking up. Okay. And this method is total grungy. You're not going to get perfection. Okay. Okay, but definitely start off your page. Ugh, so gorgeous, so gorgeous. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now, because we put it on so thin, it will dry fairly quick. You can hit it with the heat gun. Oh, I'm glad I changed it to the rose gold. I'm going to set it there because we're going to show how we clean this up. Okay. You just scrape your scraper right back in there. You put that lid back on nice and tight. Okay. Gonna put it away. Now, here's the fun part. You squirt your brayer a little bit. Get that a little moist. Get that a little moist. And you find some scrap papers. Oh yeah, scrap, 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 scrap. Just like our inks, just like our sprays and anything else. You just go in and pick it up. Now, how fun would that be to put a sentiment across that? Ooh, that's just going to be so yummy. Okay, do another little squirt. I'm going to get this piece of paper. Okay, now this time I'm going to go and pick it up this way. Just because it does different stuff. So this is a lot wetter, okay? But there is so much sparkle in there. When that dries, you go over the top of it with your inks. Ugh, that's gonna be fun. I'm running out of space. Sorry, card, I gotta move ya. Okay, and then see our brayer? It's almost clean. Just like that. You can get your napkin wet, your cloth, whatever you want to use. Take it to the kitchen sink. Hose it down. I don't clean mine spectacular. I mean, that's all dried on. It's not hurting it. Okay. There's a little bit of green in there. Yeah. Just adds character to your next project. Okay. So then we clean our little tool off on our paper just to get that. Then we're only tossing away a little bit. Okay. And then pick up some more. The more liquid you put on it, the more marbly it gets. Okay. You can definitely use watercolor paper and really crank on the water. That little piece of green. Vamoose. But this is just leftovers from making cards. When you cut down your card base, you know, this is from a slimline, so that was just leftovers. Oh yeah. So I've got 3 little card pieces. And then you can just keep going. Of course, you can add more colors and just keep going. And these are water-based, so easy cleanup. Although it is leaving little metallic bits behind. Stab myself, get out of there. All right. So fabulous. Look it, all done. Get this out of here so I don't stick my hands in it. So during our cleanup, everything's all nice and better aside from my fingers, but this will wash off. I am not worried about it. I'm not too worried about it contaminating because it's pretty dry on there. Okay, so we did that, our little embossing folder. Now we're going to do our butterfly. And yes, I'm going to stamp her out in on black paper. Now, this is the butterfly that I was given during Stamp Wars Littles. I'll link Nancy Stamp's YouTube down below. You'll want to check out Stamp Wars and then Stamp Wars Littles. That was such a blast. Ugh, so much fun. The card is already wrapped up and ready to be sent out that I mailed or made for that. Sorry, I didn't even think to have that available, but you can check out the FSC. It is up for vote on there. Okay, so here's what I was thinking for this. Gotta get my little stamp holders out of there. All right. Did I just break another one? Gosh dang it. I like these little magnets, but I really should have wrapped them. I'm going to have to go buy another set because I totally smashed one. It's in the garbage. And then this one just smashed too. Okay. And again, I'm not worried about the glitter because I'm going to be adding more. So I don't want to waste too much paper. So I'm just going to put this right here because I'm going to fussy cut this out. Okay. Oh, you dingbat. That's not going to work like that. Give me that. There we go. Okay. So we're going to grab our Versamark for this one. Okay. Get my good Versamark. My new one. Extra juicy. Okay. Now I need to make sure this goes in the corner because it's going to keep peeling that up, I think. Okay. So we're just going to ink this little guy up, or girl. I think its name is Indra, I-N-D-R-A. It is a Lavinia Stamps, and you can go to laviniastamps.co.uk. I will also post links to other places you can get this little beauty in case you're in America like me. They do have stores here that will sell it. This is on Amazon as well. The day of Stamp Wars, though, there was only 4 of them. Okay, so we're gonna do our gentle, even pressure. And we're just gonna double stamp this because I really need, I forgot to do my anti-static. Why do I do that? Oh, hopefully it doesn't make too much of a mess. I always forget that. See, that totally moved our paper. Actually, that's a really good stamp out. Good quality stamps, man. You ink them up right and they will stamp beautifully on the first run. Although I do see some of the little head is missing, so I'm gonna run it again because I had it in the very corner. That's where I'm gonna put it again. Okay, and this time I'm just gonna focus the ink right there at the neck because everything else looked beautiful right there. That's where I missed. Yeah, much better. Fabulous. Okay. Pull that out. There's a little cover in there. We're gonna clean our stamp with a little bit of water. I've got to get new stamp cleaner, conditioner stuff. I'm thinking about making my own. The recipe looks easy. I just need to get some glycerin and some baby shampoo. That's on the list. And I'm pretty sure I can definitely get the baby shampoo at the dollar store. I just got to figure out where to get some glycerin. And I'm going to do this stamp again because it's really pretty. I'm going to make another card. Okay, so now we have this. I've got some gold embossing powder. Okay, so we're gonna emboss this beauty right up. I'm not liking that. Okay, I'm going to heat set this and save this for another project. And then I'm going to stamp out another one. There's a lot of places that I have embossed because I didn't use my anti-static. So it's sticking everywhere that it shouldn't be. And I'll show you the difference because, well, maybe that's supposed, no, that's not supposed to be there. And yeah, okay, so I'm going to put you on pause, heat set this, and stamp out another one. And then I'll show you the difference of using the anti-static and this. Hold on, my friends. All right, so I had to do it twice because when I went in with the anti-static powder, I overstamped it because I didn't stamp it good the first time, so it overstamped. So you don't lose a lot of detail. I am definitely going to keep these. They'll just go on a different project. This time, I just stamped it the one time, and I was like, it's going to do what it's going to do. But as you can see, having that anti-static tool, there's only a couple little bits that stuck. Whereas this one, there was bits all over the place. Can you see the difference there? Okay, and these are on the outside, so I'm not worried about them. You can dust them off before you hit it with the heat tool. I knew I was going to fussy cut this out, so it's okay. But we didn't have a lot of sticking inside the design where we did here. And a couple of places in here, and definitely right there. So, no anti-static, and you just wipe it off when you're all done. And then you're back to a black sheet of paper. All right, and your paper makes a difference. I think this paper accepted the ink a little bit different. They are definitely two types of black paper. Yeah, because that was just one impression. And I could have stamped it again down the center, but I kind of like that. Where this is nice and clean, and then the body's a little bit rough. So we're just going to fussy cut this little booger out. Nothing spectacular. We're just going to get fairly close to our design. Okay. And then we're just going to go around. And there's the first little bit of over embossing now gone. I'm gonna sneak in. going to do the ear or the antennae last. So I'm going to march my way over to the other side, because you see where my hand is to get here. I don't want to bend or break those. So I'm just going to zoom over to the other side and get this little, well, it's not really a little area, but get this area. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to this because I just kind of rushed it out of there. Okay. Make sure I don't cut. I did a decent job, that's good. Lots of focusing. And see, now those little antennae are not getting squished. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. I think I'm going to come in here just a little bit. Yeah. So we just follow our curve around a little bit more, go up. There we go. Oops, that one got a little too close, but that's okay. We're just going to snip that around. That's okay. All right, rid of our little bit of garbage. All right, and those will go in my work with later bin. Okay, so we need our piece of paper, and we can check it to see if it's dry. I'm all glittery. Are we dry? No, we're not dry, so I'm gonna hit it with the blow dryer. I shall return. All right, so we're going to trim this down. And if I can remember where I put my other piece, here you are. Here's our card base. So we have our 5x7, 6.75 by 4.75. And we're gonna want a little bit more of this showing than we did of the red. So I'm thinking, what am I thinking? I'm thinking I'll just trim this to size real quick and then see what I want to chop off. Okay, so So this is that. Ooh, that trimmed up pretty nice. Because this is smaller than a 5x7. I think I'm going to take off a 1/4 inch on each side. There's a little bit more taken off this way, so I'm going to take the 1/4 inch off the one side. So this is, in order to do that, I'm butting this up right to the cut line, and I can see that it's there, so I'm going to back it up 2 lines, and that'll be the 1/4 inch, I hope. I don't know, I'm just get that off of there. So let's see how we like this side. I think I need a little bit more, so I'm going to take off another little bit and line that up. There's that line. We're going to go 2. Oh yeah, I like that much better. And then I'm going to eyeball this right here and do a little pinch so I can see that I bent it right there. Oops, turn that the right way. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. All right, but I think I need a little bit more off the side. I think I took too much off the bottom. That's all right. I'm just going to take a little bit more off the side. That's better. Oh, I like that much better. Okay, so you can glue this down, tape it down. I think I'm going to glue mine down. No, I'm going to tape that down because it's got a lot of bumps and ridges in it. Go. Give a good press. See, it doesn't want to stick. Come on. Peel. Okay. Card opens this way. We're going to set this in here. And I am liking that placement, aside from it sticking to me. Oh, I like that rose gold. Okay, and then we have our little butterfly, which now you could do center. You could, I'm really liking down here because then we get to see more of this. We just want to make sure that it's on our paper, and I do want it overlapping in the red a little bit. Okay. And for this one, I think I'm just going to put a piece of tape right down the center and let her pop up a little down the sides. So I'm going to do that, and to make sure she pops up a little, I'm going to grab a couple of little Papa Dots. And then I'm just going to put them right next to the tape. Okay. And it will force it to bend out, hopefully. we shall see, won't we? Okay. Peel our tape. Peel our pupper dots. Okay. Yeah. Nope, you need to stay put. Okay, so there we go. And then I do want this one hanging off just a little there and there. So I'm going to push down in the center. Oh yeah, look at that. Ha ha ha. Fabulous. Granted, you can see the pop dots, but only if you go like that. So I'm not even worried about that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then you can do your stamp your sentiment right in there. Write your little message around it. Oh, it's so pretty. Ooh, I'm so happy with it. Try and get it a little bit more focused. Let me change the lighting. Nope, that's that one. Oh. And it's so nice because this is all raised up. And then this has that texture too. It's a good little card. I'm a-liking it. I hope you enjoyed. Even though we only made one card today, it was a little bit more detailed. But when you have your paint out, you can do multiple of these, you know, ink up several plates at once, send them all through. So you can do multiple cards. Get lots of these stamped and embossed so you have them handy, because, you know, it won't take me that long to fussy cut these and I can make 2 different cards. But I definitely wanted the more detailed there and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed, and we shall see you next time. Bye-bye.